Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Here's another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. She said, what? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. She's a torta with some bad habits. Bye-up, bye-up, bye-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Darn! Shut up, bitch. We're about to get into it in a Menudo style in direct fashion. You guys see the thumbnail? So you already, all eyes on Keffe D, right? All eyes on Keffe D, eh? What the fuck did this about to do? Bawoso, right? Womp, 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 womp. Like a Charlie Brown episode. This Vato went and done said too much and found himself in a wormhole. He got caught up. He got sucked into the wormhole of his own demise, right? Because he spoke on it. Here's my little 2 cents on the situation, man. Orale Tupac, rest in peace. You already know what it is, man. I'm a big Pac fan, as of many Chicanos, Africanos of the 90s. I mean, Pac was our shit, right? Am I lying? Am I lying? Nah, Pac was our shit. Anybody back in the 90s, man, late 90s, 2000s, was on that Pac shit. I know a lot of these youngsters don't know too much about Pac. And if it was Pac and DMX, and that's what it was. And everything else was on the in-between time. In the meantime, I definitely I'm a big Tupac fan. I always have been. I don't care about allegations. I don't care about this and what you say about that or what he was locked up for. None of that matters to me because at the end of the day, I know he didn't do that shit. And that's just real and righteous. You know, he got set up till he was fed up. Now, that wasn't hard, but it happens. It happens to the best of them. You know, it's not neither here nor there. But Tupac passed away, you know, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear it. And a lot of people fight the feeling, you know, like a Too Short song. A lot of people tend to think that Tupac still might be alive somewhere, that he might be in the Bahamas, you know what I mean, sipping one of them baby mamas with less dramas. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, the Vato's gone, man, and we need to respect the dead. When you're gone, you're gone. You know, it was his time. He had his time to shine, and then pensa la tira, guard, he's gone. And it was an ugly situation. I remember that night, and I'm going to recollect and take you back to that night that he got shot in Las Vegas. I think it was the Bruce Seldon fight was going on, if I'm for sure. And I remember that day the homies were all into it. This is back when we didn't have fire sticks and, well, we had black boxes, but shh, don't tell nobody, right? The homeboys wanted to rent that pay-per-view. It was on pay-per-view. Hey, let's watch this fight, homie. You know, Mike Tyson's going to fight Bruce Seldon. Tupac is going to be there. There's going to be all kinds of actors there. It's Vegas, homie, Vegas. I was like, fuck that, let's go to Vegas, eh? But we didn't have money like that. So I remember all the homies were going to watch the fight at the pad. And at this time, we had a hood spot, right? A trap house. You know, one of them spots where narcotics were being distributed and all the homies were chilling. And that was going to be the spot where it was going to go down at. But I remember this particular night, man, I was very tired. For something had came over me. It was a gut feeling. I don't know what it was, but I was very tired. Anyways, my wiggle was real. I ended up wiggling off before the fight because one of the homies kept calling me, hey, come over here. We're going to Torta's pad. We're going to help him move. And this isn't that. I've told the story before. It was one of my classics, man, on the first channel about the 2 tortas that got in. They were like, hey, what's up? I was like, hell no. Nothing, bitch, right? Shit, I can't. I'm squeezed up against the window like that. Facts, right? Wasn't trying to go there. But at the end of the day, you know, I remember that night. That was the night I got my 14 peeled off my face, man. I got stabbed. I got beat with bats. I got fucked up pretty good. And at the same time this was happening, Tupac was being shot in Las Vegas. And I remember when I woke up in the hospital and they ended up releasing me. I had a big old bandage on my head. I went back to the pad and the homies were like, hey, did you hear what happened? Tupac got shot. And I was like, look at me. They were like, I know. It says it's a scratch. Tupac, eh? I was like, fuck Tupac, bro. I was pissed. But I'll never forget that day because that was the day of almost my demise. I guess real ones, you know what I mean? That's what it was happens. So anyways, Tupac was shot. And we all know the story, man, because we've heard it for 20 plus years. It's been that long. You know, Tupac got into a scuffle, allegedly. It was caught on camera. And, you know, it involved a vato from the Southside Crips. And this individual, from what they're saying, went double backed, went and got him a little thing, came back, caught Pac slipping in traffic, him and Suge in a car, and gave him the business. Now, whether that was the truth or it isn't, One never knows. You know, I like to take things on face value, and if I hear a story, man, I could kind of decipher the bullshit from the realness. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it sounds kind of feasible to me. You know, it sounds kind of like, yeah, maybe, you know, it would happen. Vatos get stomped out, Vatos get beat up. They ain't taking the elbow like that. They're like, hell nah. Fuck that. It's Tupac. Motherfucker, all eyes on me. That's the watch. And he came back with that 44. Set up at the front door. No beef, no more. Right? And it was over. It was over, cuz. You know what I mean? On Paru was over. Ain't that right? Whack booty clapper 100. Now look. This motherfucker Pac, man, is a legend. Okay? He's a legend in our time and he's a legend in every time. Because he brought the black and brown community back together. As the back and, did I say black and brown? The back and brown, the black and brown. I'm all fucked up today, right? I'm off my rocker. It's Sunday. It's football day. Bang, bang. Anyways, he brought the black and brown community back together as much as he could, you know. It wouldn't be LA without Mexicans. He represented for not only his people, but for the raza in general, for all minorities, everyone that was going through any type of hardships and poverty, man. If you were in the ghetto, man, he was the ghetto hero. He was the voice of reason. He was the voice. He was our voice. We could identify with someone like Tupac, someone who had been through the motions and ended up right by the Pacific Ocean to be Pacific. I can't talk today for some reason. I don't know what it is. Anyways, Pac definitely is a legend. You know, he's a legend in our time. And he's someone that even to this day, t-shirts, posters, his music will be heard, you know, on the streets. And every time you hear someone bumping Pac, you're like, all right, that motherfucker knows what he's doing. We're going to give him the pass, right? Oh, he's a dropout? No, they can't give him the pass, right? But, so this is what's been happening. This guy, Keffe D, was involved to a certain degree with the music scene at that time. He has ties to Puff Daddy. He has I said Puff Daddy, I'm old school, right? P. Diddy or whatever the fuck you want to call him, Diddy or he diddles guys or I don't know, whatever you want to call him. He has ties with him. He has ties with Suge. He has ties with all these gang members because he himself allegedly was in the mix at that time, was a hardcore, well-known gang member from the Crips. Now, we all know the old fire that burned, the old flame between Crips and Bloods in the 80s and early 90s, man. It was on like motherfucking Dinky and Donkey Kong. Them vatos were throwing barrels at each other. They were handling business, right? Crippin' and Bloodin' was as real as Norteño and Sureño. And it was happening, man. And I lived through it. You know, I seen it firsthand. I seen Crips rush Bloods and Bloods rush Crips. I seen Sureños and Norteños stab the fuck out of each other, right? It's just what it is. But if you lived through the guerra of the 90s, then you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so this seemed like a Crip and Blood situation, but more so than anything, the situation that took place in Las Vegas, this scuffle, didn't seem like a Blood and Crip situation to me. It seemed more like some animosity or hatred towards what Death Row was doing at the time because they were on top of the game, homes blowing up. But whatever the case may be and whatever led up to that, you know, it happened. You can't deny that. It's on camera. Now, Tupac was not a Blood, was not a Crip, man. You know, was from the Bay Area, not from the Bay Area, but lived in the Bay Area. We all know he's originally from the East Coast, but transplanted out to the Bay and was definitely representing with the best of them. One thing no one could say or take away from Pac was he was about his business, man. You can't say he wasn't. This Vato was known to have something on him, was known to handle his business, wasn't the best fighter in the world, they say, but would fight, and that's all that matters. Goran, heart, homie, at the end of the day. Bensan. Well, this guy, Keffe D, has claimed in several interviews, what a baboso, right? I'm just going to keep it real. I don't know that man like that, but I'm going to call it as I sees it, right? This Vato did several interviews, Vlad TV, so many other different podcasts where he spoke on the situation. Now, let me give him some knowledge you can't get in college. I don't know what planet this fucking Vato's from, but on planet Earth and in the state of California, there is no statute of limitations on murder. Now, I understand that this murder did take place allegedly in Las Vegas, Nevada, but there still is no statute of limitations on murder, homie. If a murder happens, then a murder happened, right? And you're not supposed to speak on that situation, homes, especially if no one's caught up and it's a mystery, your history, based on the simple fact. See that a punk ass Mark got snatched in the dark, and now it's just like that. If a Vato gets snatched up, if he gets killed, right? And they're already looking at your family member or there's already stories out there about you possibly being involved. Why the fuck would you open your fat, nasty, stinky boca, your mouth, and let it fly through your teephasis that, yes, you were involved, that you were the driver of the vehicle? Do you think or thunk that at any point in time, law enforcement is not still looking into this? People want answers. The cry out for someone to be convicted on this crime is real. Now, I'm not saying that they're on the picket line talking about, get Tupac's killer. get Tupac's killer. I could give a fuck less about Tupac's killer. At the end of the day, all we care about is the legacy and the music that he left. That's it when it comes to me. But there's a lot of people out there. There's a guy right now in suburbia that's like, hey, catch that brother that killed Tupac because it's all eyes on me, right? Vatos want people to get locked up. They love drama. Anyways, this guy Keffe D decided that if for no other reason, he was going to go on several podcasts, several outlets, man, and tell the truth. His truth, according to him. Do we know if it's true or not? Right now, I bet you he pleads not guilty. And no, I didn't mean that shit. I was just telling stories, y'all. Whether he was just telling stories or not, he still shouldn't have said shit because he put it out there that he was involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur. Okay? That's a big deal. It's funny to me, and we're going to backtrack a little bit, that there's been 2 murders that they can't seem to fucking, I don't give a fuck, the needle in the haystacks, right? Out of every murders that's ever happened, I mean, they could see a fly off a motherfucker's asshole from space, right? But they can't catch the people who killed Biggie, and they can't catch the people who killed Pac. They know exactly who did it, but they ain't catching the person that done it. Ain't that funny? 20-something years later, they want to arrest Keffe D because of his big mouth and what he said. This man did not kill Tupac. Right? This man didn't have hands on Tupac. He might have been in the same vehicle, allegedly. He might have been involved in a conspiracy. Diddy ain't trying to hear that, right? He might have been involved, and we're going to speak on that right now because fuck it, I don't care, right? He might have been involved in a lot of different things. But actually, hands-on killing Tupac, I highly doubt it, man. I think this guy is living off of his nephew's fame, his nephew being Orlando, the one who they say allegedly did kill Tupac, who I don't know about you guys, but Spence, I've seen a lot of pictures of him. He looked a lot like Pac, huh? Maybe a stunt double? I don't know. You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just keeps it real. Keeps it real trill. But this guy decided, Keffe D, to fucking throw it out there that he was involved and everything. Like I said, I don't know where this vato was coming from with this shit. You know, you can't speak on things that shouldn't be spoken on, Holmes. Because the ramifications and the repercussions for what's going to happen is going to fall on your fucking plato. You got to eat it up. So now he's sitting in the county jail. First, it started a few months ago when they allegedly raided his old lady's pad, right? Looking for things. Because of these interviews he did. See, if people don't understand, social media is a powerful tool. It's a drug, too, as well. People get on it, they get addicted. I remember I had a homeboy that about all night. What are you doing? I'm playing Final Fantasy, bitch. Stop it, right? What'd you say? Did I say that? I didn't mean it. I got a dragon, right? He was all fucked up about this shit, about to stop going to work, stop boning his old lady. The homie had to step in for that one, right? There was all kinds of different things going on. He got addicted to the internet, right? And this was way before Facebooks and Instagrams and all this shit. Now it's a droga. Now everybody's like, ¿sabes qué? ¿Tienes un demo of IG? Right? They're all fucked up. And they don't want to get off TikTok because they're over there dancing and shit. Everybody needs to understand that social media is very powerful and it influences your everyday life. And a lot of people, millions or billions around the world, watch YouTube, they watch Instagram, they watch TikTok every fucking day, and they're going to listen to what they hear. And a lot of people are very vulnerable to what they hear, man. They don't have leadership quality skills. They don't understand what being a leader is and being a real one is. They're not from the streets. They're not laced like that. You got some fucking kid in Ohio like the homeboy Donnie Mullins sitting there like, maybe this motherfucker did kill Tupac. Go Gunner, right? You don't even know what it is, man. But you hear it, and in spirit, you want to believe. That's what the internet does, man. It puts misinformation out there, and it puts a lot of information out there that should be kept in the dark. It's just how it is, right? I've been a victim of it. Everybody's been a victim of it. It's part of the game. Chalk that one up. Now, look, Keffe D went on several platforms and said, I was involved. Like that. He was supposed to gain some clout off of that. Like that was supposed to be cool. Do you know how many Tupac fans there were arrested that were mad? I myself was a little disgruntled with the individual for being so nonchalant with it and saying, yeah, I was involved in that. Like, fuck Pac, homie. You know what I mean? What it is, man. What's up? Can a gangster just get that guy? You know what I mean? Nah, hell nah. Hell no he can't, eh? Guard! Come get this motherfucker. They did, too. So anyways, they raided his girl's pad a few months ago, and they were looking for something specific, to be Pacific. And I don't know exactly, man, what they found or what they were looking for. But with law enforcement, you never know. Like I said, statute of limitations don't run out on a murder. So they was on it, man. Maybe they won't catch you up in California, but they catch you up at the spot of the crime, right? Which is Las Vegas, Nevada. And them vatos in Vegas don't play. Them laws out there, man, are different. That's OJ. That vato just got out. He's like, I did it. I did it, right? That vato got caught up on some other shit. If they want you, they're going to get you. especially in a fucking backcountry state like that. Everyone sees Las Vegas, the glitz, the glamour, the fucking bright lights, and they think, oh yeah, man, it's cool out there. Shit, go out there and they're gonna lasso your ass and catch you up. Come on now, man, it's real. The game is real. So Keffe D gets arrested the other day. And I initially didn't want to do nothing on it, but people been asking me, you know, because I feel a certain way. I have a personal feeling towards this, man. I don't want to seem like, you know, I'm not keeping it real. But the realness is with me is that if this Vato wanted to be an asshole about also enough to go out there and speak on it, Holmes, well, now he's going to have to sit down and do the time for it. Because ultimately they are going to convict this guy for being an accessory. Let me explain what an accessory is for those of you that don't understand the situation. Knowledge you can't get in college, right here on Gunners Collective this morning. What an accessory is, that's it, is you could pull out the homeboy, hey, give me a Slurpee, some of them Tic Tacs, and my breath smells like shit, right? And one of the fucking taquitos, the steak and cheese, the steak and black Monterey Jack, right? Go give me one. And the homeboy walks in and he sees an enemiga, he sees someone that he doesn't get along with, homes that you don't even know about. You're over there fucking bumping Tupac, you know what I mean? I can't deny it, I'm a straight, you know what I mean? And you're doing your thing, and the Vato goes in there and he claps someone, bah, bah, hits him with the blapper one time, and comes running out talking about, hey, where's my Slurpee? I didn't know which one you want, which flavor, let's go, right? Next thing you know, you guys are getting pulled over down the street and you're locked up for murder. And you're like, damn, man, I wasn't even involved. It doesn't matter. Accessory to the fact you were in the car, Holmes, you're just as guilty as the individual that pulled that trigger. Spence us the way it is. Now, you can fight it, tell on the person, and do whatever the fuck it is you choose to do in your life. And maybe that's going to get some of that burden off your chest. But most people, 99%, well, I'm not going to, right now it's about 84%, right? Are just going to do their time. Shit, it's less than that, huh? But, you know, this guy has decided 20-something years later, after the fucking fire had died down, people are like, okay, Tupac is in Jamaica somewhere. And they're believing whatever they want to believe. He decides to start doing these interviews and speaking on the situation. Now, I don't know if he was doing it for clout, for recognition. Maybe he thought that would bubble and blow his name up. You know, everybody's after this bag, man. And they'll say anything to get it. So I don't know if that was the case, but whatever he did, he must have said something that keyed in on their investigation. Because when the cops have an investigation that's gone cold, Holmes, cold case files, I said, right? Whenever they got one of those, then they're at a stop, Holmes. They're at a what do they call it? An impasse where they can't pass until they get some help. And this Vato gave them just enough ammunition to load the clip and then point the gun right back at him. The Vato got locked up. He's arrested. Do I think he deserves to be arrested? I think he's a stupid ass for running his big fat mouth, and now he's going to sit down for a situation that could have well been avoided. Look, we all love Tupac. Ultimately, we want to see justice for his familia. But at the end of the day, what does it get? It gets more people hurt. Now this guy's family, his kids, his grandchildren, whatever he has, are going to grow up without him. You know, all because he was involved in Tupac's murder. And just like Shitty Cuz, right, that's going through his motion for the Nipsey Hussle murder, imagine this, and I'm just saying, I'm not telling anyone to do nothing, but imagine getting locked up and incarcerated because you killed Tupac. Vatos ain't gonna be happy, Holmes. He has a lot of fans, I'm just saying, you know, same thing with Shitty Cuz. That Vatos draws are Shitty Cuz, right? And that's just how it is. You can't go anywhere without that being on your headpiece, man. You're the one that killed Tupac or allegedly did it. Now, do I believe that this Vato actually pulled the trigger? Well, no. Well, we know that. He never said that. Do I believe he was in the car? Maybe, perhaps. But there's another conspiracy theory that's going on. Wait up, the wind's blowing. You know, I hope it don't get me. I hope it don't poison me like Jamie Foxx. Look, this Vato Puff Daddy's name always comes up in the mix. You know, being around the world and I. He looks all smooth and fresh, huh? Like he ain't did nothing. But ask Usher how his asshole feels right now. Justin Bieber, he was in that motherfucker like, baby, baby, baby. No, right? I'm telling you right now, this motherfucker P Diddy got some going on in his tanque, right? And he decides for if no other reason, you know, because he's beefing with Death Row, man, that maybe, just maybe, man, Tupac needs to get up out the way. Maybe he's just doing too much. Maybe hit him up, made him hit it up a little too much. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot of conspiracy theories saying P. Diddy hired this guy, Keffe D, and his nephew to be involved and to do this murder. I don't know if that's the case, man. That's just speculation, you know, but his name does come up. It always comes up around assholes and idiots. So I don't know exactly what's going on with P. Diddy in this situation. Do I believe that he was involved in this murder? Nah. Other things, I know for a fact, I've heard it right out of horse's mouth that P. Diddy ain't as smooth as everyone thinks he is, or as clean as everyone thinks he is, but that's nothing for me to speak on because it's okay, we don't do that around here. Anyways, with that being said, I hope that you guys move smooth with a purpose. That's my 2 cents on the situation. Keffe D, I hope your ass sits in jail. What can I say? You did it to yourself, man. He should have never said nothing. He'd have been smooth like a criminal, like fucking Mike Jack doing the moonwalk on back. But instead, that Valto decided that if for no other reason, he let the wind blow on his conversations. And orale, Vlad TV strikes again. Sas! He got you, Bawoso. With that being said, move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strike, the struggle, and the struggle to strive. We're going to continue to do it right here. You already know what it is, man. Gracias. Enjoy the Sunday. Enjoy football. Raiders! You know what it is. The gun. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle and struggle and strive for what I truly and honestly believe in. And that's the coming together of all people, black and brown. Woods, come on, brothers. I'll go buy you a coffee. Bang, bang.